million improved on 7.2 million people. Since 2013, the Nobeen program has provided equity financing to 103 young entrepreneurs in the second generation of the Grameen Bank families, investing more than $132 million, helping them to become job creators instead of job seekers. Grameen Shikha has provided 7,000 scholarships to students, provided vocational training to 11,000 young people, provided early childhood caregiver training to 138,000 young people, 4,500 kids in slum schools, and 200,000 kids in preschools. Ononno Construction, a social business construction company created by Professor Yunus, is powering the infrastructure for all of the social businesses, including building hospitals, a mega health complex, a social business convention center, and hospitality center. Grameen Communications, another social business, has digitized the entire Grameen Bank microfinance system, as well as the systems of 190 other microfinance institutions in Bangladesh and around the world, and is now doing the same for the Nobeen New Entrepreneurs Program. Grameen Danone Foods Limited has provided the Grameen Creative Lab, which has been bringing this beautiful summit to us, has done this for 12 years and has overcome all its challenges to bring this summit to you this year with the theme of cultivating a culture of peace. Hans and team not only bring the social business summit to us, but all kinds of new types of collaboration with new types of actors into the social business world in the spirit of creativity and joy. Yunus Social Business, another global entity created by Professor Yunus, has financed 62 businesses around the world in 5 countries, 60 plus corporate projects, and supported 2,070 social business entrepreneurs impacting on 3 zeros. The Yunus Environment Hub is focused on supporting social business entrepreneurs working on climate action and circularity around the world, advising governments and involving the private sector into carbon neutral business activities. In 2021, 79 environmental social businesses were incubated, and 510 social business entrepreneurs were trained. The Yunus Sports Hub works on social business in the sports world. 90 experts deliver programs over 40 countries and has become a recognized actor in the sports sector. This year marks the creation of a new partnership with the Yunus Sports Hub with the Global Esports Federation to bring social business and gaming together. Yunus YY Ventures in Bangladesh, which is inspired by the Yunus social business model, has incubated 74 companies in Bangladesh, of which 63% are female-led, and they have created 1,300 jobs and improved the lives of 200,000 Bangladeshis. Sing for Hope is a social business dedicated to changing lives through arts and creativity, working across the US and in other parts of the world. We at the Yunus Center are working to disseminate these learnings from these social businesses through our global programs, such as the Summit, 12 social business days, which we organize every year, bringing together an average of 1,800 people from 60 to 65 countries. We have been organizing in the pandemic the web lectures, which document these experiences and spread these messages and learnings. Through the Yunus Center, 100 universities in 37 countries have established Yunus Social Business Centers within the university to bring this learning and teaching into the curriculum and into practice. There are 19 more such universities in the pipeline coming up, and these are helping to create the mind shift so that young people can choose to become entrepreneurs instead of job seekers on the one hand, and social business entrepreneurs instead of for-profit entrepreneurs on the other hand. Many of the YSBCs are represented here today, and this afternoon we have the academic forum at the University of Turin, with the University of Turin also announcing its plan to create a Yunus Social Business Center. Professor Yunus always says that it's the young people who will be the powerhouse for change. With this in mind, in 2021, the 3-0 Club initiative was launched by him to encourage young people to form groups of 5 between the ages of 12 and 35 to take individual actions towards creating a 3-0 world. In this 1 year since then, nearly 500 clubs carefully formed in 38 countries have been created to work towards the 3-0 world. Each one of these activities are created to do a social good. Each are social businesses that aim to solve a social problem, but not to return profits to individual investors, rather to use the profits to grow the business and increase its reach. So you see it's a veritable global movement encompassing and touching the lives of millions of people worldwide. These organizations that I mentioned are all represented here at the summit, and their leaders will be speaking at different sessions. I hope you will take time to seek them out and speak to them. They're all here to share their experiences with you. So much is achieved, but so much further to go towards creating the world of 3.0 that Professor Yunus envisions. The pandemic taught us how interconnected we all are, that a fire in one place can engulf another place altogether. The same is the case for climate change. It makes us understand that we must all come together, every one of us, wherever we are, to reverse the damage that has taken place and redesign to create a new, fair, just, and sustainable world. And that social business can provide a framework as well as a toolbox towards that. That's why we are here, to connect and brainstorm and build actions together across generations to achieve with urgency and with the youth in the lead towards our common goal of creating a world of 3 zeros. Let us do that with joy. I would like to thank the Mayor and the City of Turin, the Turin Chamber of Commerce, the Fondazione Compagnia di Sao Paulo, the Lavazza Group for hosting us in this superb venue and for all their support, the TMP, the logistic partners at this year's GSPS. I want to thank Hans, Maria, and the GCL team who have worked tirelessly for a year to bring us this beautiful summit. I want to thank all the supporters that Hans had brought up on stage earlier in the program for their support to bring us all here. I want to thank all the delegates, the 30-strong Yunus and Grameen delegation from Bangladesh. And I want to, last but not least, thank Professor Yunus and our team at Yunus Center for the summit today. Thank you very much.
What's the performance? You're so good. Thank you so much, Lamia Morshed, all the leaders of these organizations who are in this room, and thousands of brothers and sisters who works day in and day out to make it happen. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, it is the biggest honor of my life to welcome the man whose idea and philosophy have created a paradigm shift. His groundbreaking concept of microcredit and social business has created jobs across boundaries and race. No matter you are living in a city, a village, whatever the community is, one person at a time can create a beautiful social business with joy. This man has dedicated his life to building a world of 3 zeros, inspiring generations to find their identity by unleashing their creativity, and he inspires us to be creative and to start small and to become social business entrepreneurs. As he rewrites modern history, he reminds us to do it too with joy. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Nobel Peace Prize laureate, founder of Grameen Bank and chairman of Yunus Center, Professor Muhammad Yunus.
Thank you. Wonderful. Fantastic. Thank you. Is it working? Thank you. Thank you very much. Hans, you did it again. Let's give a big applause for Hans and his team, Maria and Lamia and everybody. Thank you. It's wonderful to be together. And when I was leaving Dhaka for this trip, we all came from as part of the delegation. And we are chatting what we'll do when we go there. One of the delegates said, let's take a picture together. We work in the same office. They want to take a picture. I was surprised. He said, we are seeing you after 3 years. what a change world has gone through. What a change world has gone through. Because we work in the same office, but they're saying, we are seeing you after 3 years. We don't see each other. We are hiding from each other. So that's a shocking news that the world has gone through. Today, we are here together after 3 years. During these 3 years, we always had what we call virtual Global Social Business Summit. We see on the screen few people. The magic of being together is completely missed. So we feel totally energized just being with each other. Unlike sitting at home on your screen, making speeches to each other, hearing each other's voice, but don't feel the closeness that this forum provides. And this was idea to bring the family together, all the friends together. It's a family reunion. That's what we described, that the Global Social Business Summit is a family reunion. As Maria was saying, it's a wedding ceremony or wedding festivity and so on. That, yes, wedding ceremony too, but this wedding is about getting wedded to social business. It's a kind of thing that we want to do for the world, how we can do that. But that needs close contact. And bringing people together is not easy. We already have lots of stories about who lost their luggages on the way, still didn't retrieve. How many people we couldn't get here because they didn't get the visa? Entire African delegation is missed out. You don't have African delegation here because they couldn't get the visa. And we hear missing visas from everywhere, that they couldn't get to the visa part. And then missing flights and all that. And finally, those who survived got here. It's wonderful. Let's give a big applause to us that we're here and say hello to people who couldn't be here. And it's a wonderful way to come here in Turin. And thanks to the mayor. And thanks to Giuseppe Lavasa. We were talking to each other the other night. And suddenly we felt that some we do and so on, excitement about it. The same kind of excitement that I felt when I met the chairman of Danone. At the end, he said, we want to do social business. I got very suspicious. Because your business is making money. So where do you have a place for social business? He said, no, I understand what you said. And I want to do exactly that. Since I never worked with corporates before, in the size of Danone, so I was kind of staying a little back, that probably I'm confusing him or he's confusing me. But it turned out to be enormous interest. He flew into Dhaka to announce that Danone is going to set up a plant here in Bangladesh to create a social business, Grameen Danone food industry. And that's what he did. So that's a magic you feel when you talk to someone. And I felt the same magic when I talked to Josefa. I don't know how these things work. People tell me that you don't have anything to offer from the social business. You deny the incentive behind the business, which is money. I said, that's true. We don't have anything to offer in terms of money. But that doesn't mean that we don't offer anything. And I keep emphasizing that making money may be happiness. More money you make, more happy you get. But social business is different. Social business, you make more money you get more happy in conventional business, money-making business. But in social business, if you touch people's life, you suddenly become super happy. Making money is a happiness. Touching people's lives is a super happiness. Now it's upgraded. Simple invitation that I make, I said, look, you don't have to get wedded to social business right away. You can have a taste of it. Do a tiny little social business. See if you feel the vibe in it. So it's an invitation to taste it out. Because I say, I felt that vibe. I feel super happy. And many of the people who had got into it tell the same story. I say it's a very intoxicating experience. Once you get into it, you can't stop it anymore. Because the happiness that it brings to you in seeing that you have the capacity to touch other people's life, change things the way you hope to get things changed. And that's the story that we'll be sharing during this short period that we'll have here in Turin. And many things will come because of the fact that we talk to each other, shared experience with each other. And we need that change urgently. We don't have time. The urgency is the piece that I want to share with everybody, and I do it every day, that we don't have much time left. Our ship is sinking. We are still having fun inside the ship, not recognizing that the ship is sinking. Standing has to be made very clear. And COVID is a good experience. Many things made us very clear what this world is all about. We make kind of our own imagination that everything is fine because we refuse to recognize the difficulties that we have created for ourselves. Everything is not fine. Global warming is not about doing little steps. We have crossed that time when little step could build it up, but we don't have time now. We need big initiative, big effort to save this sinking ship. But that time doesn't allow us to save the all that I try to communicate with my friends, my colleagues around the world. The civilization that we are passing through is on a suicidal path. Before we get to the end of this journey of the suicide, we still have time, little time left to build a new civilization. And that's the new civilization that I try to describe by saying it will be a civilization distinguished by something very special. The present civilization is based on money. It's a money-centric, profit-centric world that we built. No matter how you describe it, how many repair work you have done, how many more repair work you want to do, the basic machine that we built is about money. So I said, present civilization has converted human being into robots. They see only one thing. They do a very good job at that, making money. So what I was trying to say that the new civilization that we want to build, excuse me, can I get a drink of water? Yeah. The new civilization, sorry. New civilization that we want to build, thank you. I'll keep it here. will be based on discovering ourselves as human beings, moving away from the robotic kind of structure and attitude that we have built in us. So that will be a civilization which will be used, which will be established the basic elements of human being. And those basic elements about sharing, about caring about each other. That civilization doesn't have any room for war. Because if you care for each other, there's no question of war. War comes as a kind of dismissal of all arguments or negotiation and discussions. Human being has grown enough over this whole history how to resolve our disputes, our disagreements. Establish that. We have to establish a mechanism to the satisfaction of both sides. Is it too much to ask for human being? Is human being not mature enough to do that yet? That's why we go back to the younger generation. That's what we'll be discussing during our family gathering. How to get to the young people. They understand issues very clearly in a transparent way. And when we see through the prism of money, we confuse ourselves. We fool ourselves. But since the young generation still didn't get to that prism yet, their eyes is still clear. Their minds are not contaminated by all those confusing things that we have been circulating around, doing some token thing and say we have solved it. Token thing is not a solution. It's escapism. You escape from that reality of it by doing a little thing here and say we did it. It's enormous capacity that human being has on this planet, never used to protect this planet. We merrily destroy this planet. Every day we do that. That's why we go to the young people with a simple message. I hope this message will also go to the grown-ups too. But we are focusing on the young people, creating 3-0 clubs. In order to build the 3-0 world, we have to take little steps, very tiny steps, bite-sized steps to create 3-0 club. Very simple idea. 5 young people fixed. We love the number 5 because whole Grameen Bank is built on number 5. Everything in Grameen Bank does all over around the world is about 5 women get together, form a group. And then the basis of everything which defied the entire banking system, the power of 5 friends together. They built the whole banking system, discarding all the rules and procedures of banking, and does wonderful banking better than the conventional banking. That's the power of 5. And we explain it very simply. We said conventional bank go to the rich. We do the opposite. We go to the poor. Conventional banks go to men. We go to women. Conventional banks go to the city center. We go to the remote village. Conventional banks want you to come to the premises of their own premises. People should come to their premises to do business. We said we defied it. We said people should not go to the bank. Bank should go to the people. That's the way it should be. Conventional bank took it as their truth that people are not trustworthy. So they bring their lawyers. They ask for collaterals so that you tie it down completely so that that guy cannot escape from you. We dismissed the whole idea of collateral, lawyers, and so on. And we created a bank or a banking system free from lawyers. In the entire banking system that we have, all the billions of dollars that we give, to the poor women, there is no lawyer in our system. Conventional bank gets shocked. How can you give money? Maybe you give small money that works. I said, we give small money, but together it's billions of dollars. In Grameen Bank today, with the 10 million borrowers, they lend out over $3 billion a year. And that grows. Grameen America already crossed 3 billion. They're planning for 20 billion in the next 10 years. No documents, no collateral, no lawyers. But the money comes back in Grameen America. Their record of entire 14 years of operation, the repayment rate has remained over 99.5% and above. Any bank in the world will be super happy to get to that repayment rate with all their lawyers, with all their collaterals, or everything. Why? How does it work? Because we brought trust into the picture. The entire banking is done with trust. People say trust is not trustworthy. I said, that's what you think. You go back to the trust, you'll find out real human being. We work it out ourselves to this 5-member groups. Nothing formal, not registered, no legal entity, just informal friendship between 5 friends. That makes all the trick. So when we talk about 3-0 world, people say, that's not possible. I said, that's what they told us when I started giving money to poor people. It will never work. Are you crazy? Poor people taking money will disappear. Never show up again. Well, simply say, I never took any money from you. Impossible is possible. That's our job. That's what the human being is all about. For human beings, the day human being was born on this planet, everything was impossible. The history of human being is to make everything possible. So when we see something impossible, we get very excited. We have a chance now to make it possible. We worry that if everything becomes possible, what do? We have no work left. So that's the spirit, that we hunt for impossibles and make it possible. And that's the commitment we go back with after Turin, after we have discussed, after talk, we've shaken hands and hugs each other, that will make every single impossible possible. That's the spirit of human being. And that with that spirit, we gather here. We'll hug everybody because we see each other after 3 years. It's an amazing feeling. We forgot how to fly because I never fly to first. So makes us super strong now.